Hello. So just today, and I don't know when I'm going to get this video out, but on the 24th of May 2018, OSFirstTimer, that is Philip Adams, put out this video, and in it, his mother, Diana Adams, tried out Windows 10, which is what this is, blindfolded, with no sighted assistance whatsoever, or, well, that's the way it was supposed to go anyway, and from a blind person's point of view, this was a very interesting video, not only because it shows you how hard it is to get used to a different way of navigation once you get used to it, but also how inefficient people can be at sometimes. And obviously, Diana had no idea what she was doing, so it's not her fault at all. But I just wanted to make this video to show how efficient blind users can actually be while using a computer, and a number of tricks we use to do that. As a lot of people in the comment section have been saying, oh, it's really hard for blind people to use computers, you know, you've got to deal with all this stuff, but at least you don't have to buy a monitor. And I did reply to that comment. Whoever commented, I can't remember who it is now, I did reply to that comment. Anyway, I wanted to show you some things. So let's go through the first 5 OSFirstTimer tasks. The first one is, what time is it? Now, what Diana did was took a mouse,
running applications, show action send, speak, tray input, system clock, 2110,
and looked at it like that.
desktop.
However, what blind users normally do is NVDA gives you a shortcut. If you hit the caps lock key in F12,
2110,
it will read you the time, and what's more, if you double click it,
24 May 2018,
it will read you the date. Now, obviously, no one would know that if they had never looked at the documentation, but when you get used to these things, I can just be working in something like Notepad, going, hello, this is... And then I can just look up and go, oh, what time is it?
2111.
Oh, it's 2111 now. Okay. Alt F4 is very important. It lets you close things very quickly.
Don't save button alt.
But Notepad brings me on to write, save, open, and delete a text document. Now, there's a number of ways to do this. You can just open the start menu and type in Notepad, like that. And obviously, that's what Diana did in the video. It works fine. Hello, Control S.
Same as dialog. File name. Combo box.
Give it a name. Title. Tab in the video has been shown to go through
same as toolbar encoding.
All the different elements on the screen. But what was never talked about is if you press Shift Tab, you go backwards, which is very helpful.
Level network collapse 1 up. This OneDrive video 1 up. Music download.
You know, let's say I want to save it in my documents. Now, what's interesting is, obviously I'm using the arrow keys to navigate this list. But what I haven't been mentioning is home,
level 0 quick access, and level 1 network collapse,
page up,
level 0 quick access,
which in this case does the same thing, and page down. These keys are invaluable if you just want to go start the list, down 3, enter, and then type over the file name and press enter. Now I'm saved. If I want to type something else, still works. I press Control S and it's saved. But what was also not mentioned, which quite obviously because we didn't need to do this anyway, is if you press the Alt key,
File submenu Alt plus F, edit submenu Alt plus E, format submenu, new sub, help, system sub. I'm
pressing the left and right arrow keys there, and you notice there's a system menu.
System submenu space.
And if I press down arrow on this,
system menu, restore unavailable R.
You get the little menu that you get if you click on the applications icon or you right click on the title bar.
Movement, restore unavailable
and this
R.
is very important.
System.
You can also get that menu by pressing Alt space.
Restore unavailable.
And yeah, you can close and stuff.
Movement.
But the important thing is, if you press something like move, I'm using the arrow keys to move the window around. So if you have some vision, you can just move it around like that. And if you resize it, I can make it smaller. Alt F4 will go like this. Okay, so that's that. But now we want to open it. Now you could obviously press the start menu, type in Explorer.
Internet Explorer with
the wrong type of Explorer. File Explorer. Oh, I can't spell it.
File Explorer.
Came up anyway. You could do that. Another thing I should mention is there are lots of ways to run apps, and one of the ways I use all the time is Windows R.
Run dialog.
Brings up the run dialog box. I'm sure everyone knows this, and I can just type in something like CD.
Windows
done. I can go. I want to open Calc.
Desktop calculator.
And it will open
calculator window. Displays the.
It opens the new calculator. That's interesting.
1 + 1 = displays 2. United.
Yeah. So I use the run box a lot. Another thing you can do is obviously you can scroll down this list. I don't tend to do that. but you can do it if you want to. I just find pressing either the Windows key or Windows R, typing what I want,
search bar. Unknown.
Untitled it open. It's very nice. But getting back on track, we want to open this text file. So Windows E opens your Explorer, and I will maximize this by pressing Windows up arrow. Then I can go to Documents. Now I can tab over.
Total item count. Title.txt. Sound
And there's my title.txt.
Make modify edit 24 type edit text size edit 1 KB.
You can press left and right and it'll tell you all this stuff, and of course if you press enter, it obviously opens in Notepad, and we can close that.
Document.
And if we want to delete it, it's not actually that hard, okay? So if you put your keyboard focus on it, and you can do two things. You can either hit Shift F10, which I'm going to have to do because my keyboard doesn't have this other key, or you can hit the Applications key. Now the Applications key is usually the third of the 4 keys that are to the right of the spacebar. So you'll have Alt, then the Windows key, then the Applications key, and then the Control key on the right hand side. And if you press that, I'll press Shift F10.
Context menu.
You get your context menu. And obviously in here you can
open edit rename it. Not title.txt.
Oh, I didn't want to rename it. But you can obviously delete from here. So I just deleted that document. It should be in the recycle bin now. Let's
try out Windows 10 folded with malware. Fold malware recycle bin.
Recycle bin.
Recycle. Create one of two. Original location edit C. Title.txt.
There it is, title.txt, and we can close this. And we can use the same technique, Shift F10,
context menu.
On this.
Open in empty delete multiple items dialog. You sure you want to
do it? I can hit Y.
Folder new list. Recycle bin.
Now, of course, you can just press the delete key. That's another option, but you know, it depends on what you want to do. You can open it and do other things in that context menu, and it's very easy. So, let me show you how fast I can do this.
Run E-E-A-D. Best untitled note. A-D-L-L-O. Text. Same as style. T-A-E-D. Item sound. Tree new. Level 1 is PC net. Levels left out document number. Command mod. And tool. Navigate back to cancel. Save space. Title. Start. File. Tree new. Quick access. Left out document. Item. Title. Title. Document. Sound. Title.txt. Content. Rename delete the document. Select make modify edit 20.
Done. Obviously I didn't empty the recycle bin, but you know. And that wasn't too fast, but you know, it would be nicer if I had an applications key, and it would be nicer if I had a bunch of stuff. And this computer is not very fast anyway, so I had to wait for a couple of things to happen there. But yes, it's certainly possible. Now the next thing is change the desktop background. Now, an oversight in the original video is you could just press this start menu and type in... What do you have to type in? You have to type in desktop.
Desktop. File folder in one right space. Okay, choose background.
Yeah, choose background. It'll pop up settings, and I have the dark theme, in case you're wondering.
List, Windows, spotlight image, Windows,
and there's all these. But what blind users tend to do is they tend to click this, solid colour. By the way, space activates quite a lot of things, as well as enter, but usually I use space. Totally depends on what it is. Some things you can't use with space. Anyway,
custom colour, list, gold not selected.
Because these are a load of different colours, and I don't really want to set it to something like gold, which looks like that.
Custom color button.
I press custom color.
Number, more button, brightness slider 1, color picker slider orange, brightness slider 100.
And in this case,
0.
I can just set the brightness to 0.
Color picker slider black, Q33, saturation black, more number, cancel number,
done.
Custom color button. Go to themes,
and then we close this window, and my desktop background is now black. Now that's for high contrast. It depends on how much you can see. I am not completely blind. People who are completely blind won't care at all. But for me, I find it easiest to set it to black, because then if I open stuff like Notepad, and if I can spell it right, there we go, I can see where it is on the screen, I can, you know, if I make it smaller, and then move it around, and I can see what I'm doing, because the black background contrasts with the white windows. Although, a lot of times, what will end up happening is you will press Alt-Shift print screen,
high contrast, yes,
and you get high contrast, and you can press that on this, and now it makes everything look very ugly, but, you know, it's a lot easier to see for me. I can't read the text because I can't see enough to do that. No, I come down a few lines especially, and I tab over a couple times, and I write hello, I can see that writing, I just can't see what it says. And I can see that I've highlighted it there, and I can see that there's a dialogue, but I can't see what it says. So it helps me a little bit, because I do like to see stuff when I can, And obviously if you're completely blind you won't care, but yeah, it helps me. There is also a magnifier. I don't use it, to be honest. I do like it to have it there in case I want to do some design or whatever, but I use the Mac for that, and I also use Zoom on the Mac, obviously. So yes, the next thing is going to be shutting down the computer. There were a lot of comments on the OSFirstTimer video about this, but there is a lot of ways to do it. The first one is to open your good old run box. And in here, you can type shutdown /s/t0. And that will shut down using the shutdown function. If you change this S to an R, you'll get restart. And if, I don't know what else you can do. Maybe you can do L for log off, but I've never done it. And then /t0. If you change this to like, I'm not going to do it, but if you change it to like, you know, 10, it will shut down in 10 seconds. That's the time. That's what the T stands for. That's one way of doing it. That's how I normally do it. I don't really know why. I just chose to. Windows X is the next option, and it brings up this big long menu, which also comes up if you right click on the start menu. And in here, shutdown looks like I've got updates. But you got all your things in here. You can do that. Another way is actually to use the start menu. What you have to do is you press the start button, and then you get to the toggle start navigation menu items little hamburger menu, and you press down a bunch of times. That's my user account. Yes, my second name is spelt wrong. I'll have to fix that.
Places list, File Explorer 1 of 1.
File Explorer is only there because I have told it to be there in settings, but then if you go down again,
Power.
You get power, and if you press that,
Sleep 1 of 3. Update and shutdown, update and restart 3 of 3.
You get the 3 important options. So yes, it is possible to do it from the start menu. You just need to know how to look, where to look. If you have nothing open at all and you press Alt F4,
shutdown window,
you'll get the same thing, and then you can use your left and right arrows.
Sleep, update and restart.
In fact, you can use your up and down. You always use left and right for some reason.
Sleep and out, switch user.
And you can do all your functions, and you can just press enter to activate them, or of course you can have over to OK.
Cancel button, malware extra application.
So yes, that is shutting down the computer, and that is a lot of what I wanted to talk about. However, we're not done just yet. First of all, Philip Adams talked about Braille displays and how blind people use them.
Desktop list recycled in one.
I have a Braille display sitting right in front of me. It's a Braille Note Apex. These things are great. However, I want to raise a point for those who don't know. My Braille Note cost £7,000. Now, yes, that's in British money. That's probably about $10,000. And that was a while ago. They've gotten cheaper. The latest model, which I also have thanks to very nice charities and people at school working with the council to fund these types of things, £4,000. Yeah, it's almost half price. And you can buy the other model I have, the earlier model, the Apex, for $3,000 now. They're getting better, but in all truth, that is very, very expensive. I don't expect a lot of people to have them. I'm very lucky I do, but let's go and activate Braille Terminal mode on my Braille Note. There we go. And now, I should be able to... I might have to
NVDA menu, Braille settings,
repair it. It all works through Bluetooth. You don't have to use Bluetooth, but
output table, combo off Braille display, combo off no Braille collapse, alt plus space. To NVDA human web Braille Note.
Oh, and it's working.
Folder view.
And now I can navigate with the Braille display. So if I pick it up, I can press space with W.
Start window, put on a window, N-O-T-E.
Notepad using the Braille display, press enter.
Untitled notepad,
and I can
editor,
type
edit,
in
multi-line,
this,
blank.
but I may be able to type faster. I'm not sure how much faster it is because depends on how good at Braille you are, but...
Not T, Q, K, B, R, O, N, F, O, F, J, U, M, L, S, not, P, S, O, V, D, T, A, Z, D, O, G, not.
And that is because of a fundamental thing in Braille. I'm just going to delete all this. And that is short forms. Now, for people who don't know Braille, and that will be a few of you, short forms are basically symbols that mean more than one thing. For example, if I press a certain symbol, I've just written the all in one go. The is one symbol in Braille. Of is one symbol in Braille. With is one symbol in Braille. And is one symbol in Braille. And it extends past that. If you press WD, you get wood. Or if you want to say testing,
ing.
the end of that word, I can write TE, and then ST is a symbol,
ST.
and ING is a symbol.
ING.
And I press space and I get testing.
S.
So Braille helps you quite a bit. It depends on what you want to do. But yes, that is the Braille support.
Submenu. New exit text. Malware Extra application.
And the final thing I want to show you is
NVDA menu.
all this time I've been using NVDA with add-ons disabled.
Exit text.
Let me
Exit
go and
NVDA dialog.
restart.
Malware.
I hope it works correctly. I've got quite a few add-ons installed, so
Malware Extra application.
weird things.
D. Folder view. Reset.
There we go. Now then, listen to this.
Start window. Malware Extra.
Notice that little sound?
NVDA. Preference general settings. Voice Braille settings. R. Braille settings. Output table. Input table. Unified input. Braille cancel. OK. Focus on OK. Malware Extra.
Yes, I have a sounds add-on, and I like that. I don't know why. I like having little sounds around the interface. It reassures me as to what's going on, because sometimes you can use those before it even starts speaking to work out where you are. The other things I've installed are
Braille Extender Dev 18.05.06 submenu B.
Looks like my Braille note got disconnected.
References to submenu T. Malware Extra.
Press that. Yep, there we go. Braille Extender, I can just press one thing and I've automatically connected my Braille display. There's a lot more than that. Go into settings, you can see
Braille Extender settings, reading and display, select, Braille keyboard select, quick launches selected.
There's a lot of things.
Gesture further quick launches display.
I didn't even know this section of the settings existed. I'll have to explore that. There's also an add-on which I currently have disabled because it was doing some weird things.
References submenu, tools sub, new lock, reload, quick manage button, manage add-ons, add-ons manager now, add-on help, enable that space, press, settings, remove alt, get add-ons, close alt, restart NVDA, no, yes, alt space,
restart NVDA.
Malware Extra.
My Braille's reconnected.
Folder view.
Yes, okay, it's working now. This adds quite a few things. I don't know exactly what it does, but like, you know, if you open the Action Center or you do things like that, if you open different apps, they will all work a bit better in Windows 10 because of this, and evidently they needed to do this because Windows 10 changed a few things nonetheless, using Universal Windows Platform apps and things. It makes things like that a lot easier to use. You may also be able to see
general settings, manage emoticons, submenu, insert emoticons, customize emoticons, C.
This is an add-on that lets you speak emoticons and emojis and things that would otherwise get read as letter 2469. There's even a feed reader for NVDA, and to be honest, I'm not quite sure why this exists. I'm pretty sure it's because this is one of the only feed readers that work very well with NVDA. There's a lot of add-ons for NVDA. They're all written in Python. You can write one relatively easily. There's great documentation online if you want to get into doing that, and you can also use this to test your own websites if you're cited as to how accessible they are. And let me just very quickly show you. If I go to blindcomputing.org, there we go, and I can press the 1 button.
No next heading at level 1.
And it tells me there's no heading at level 1.
No next heading at level. How to contribute heading level 2.
Because if I press Shift 1,
blind computing zone heading
the heading level 1 is always at the top of my webpage, and then
main landmark, what is blind compute, how to contribute note heading level 2.
You get those things. If you want to search for links, you can press K.
The Firefox download page, no next link.
And if you go search backwards, it's Shift K.
Contributing landmark navigation landmark with a long chat download software. No next list. No previous list.
Yeah, you can press
no next list item.
There isn't a next list item.
No next list item.
That's interesting. I thought this was in a list. Anyway.
No next embedded object. No next button separator.
There's a load of things.
Main landmark for more information.
I've added landmarks to my site, which are the header and the, footer, main, article, things like that. They're all integrated in here.
Downloads list, operating system, devices list.
I can go to something like devices.
Blind compute, landmark navigation, landmark list. Devices visited, operating system, main landmark navigation, a list of pros and cons.
List of pros and cons.
Braille notes, touch easy time.
Easy time. There we go. It's all based on different keyboard commands, and it all works quite well. And that is a lot to pack into one video, but I hope you all enjoyed. I'm going to post this in the comments of the OSFirstTimer video, just to let everybody know that it's not all doom and gloom out there. Everybody who's blind who uses a computer, believe me, almost everybody gets on absolutely fine with it, and has no trouble whatsoever. There are people who obviously have problems, but that's what the Facebook groups that I've discussed on this channel in the past are for. And, you know, there's a lot of different ways that people can get help. But as I said in a reply to one of my comments that got replied to, I love being blind and I wouldn't give it up for the world. And that's a story for another day. I will post that on my second channel when I get a chance to talk about why I prefer to be blind.
Recycle bin 1 of
for now,
recycle bin win.
When I stop opening the random recycle bin, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you didn't like this video, you can dislike it and you can tell me why in the comments, and if you don't, I will kill you. Just kidding. You can also subscribe. I'll see you next time. Peace.